Good day. It's 2:14 p.m. on the 7th, 18th, 2016. I'm doing another one since I did that one at about 4:30, 5 o'clock this morning when I was woke up with that smell. I fell asleep and woke up about 9:30, 10 o'clock again with the exact same thing. Warned that I've been warned by somebody that I've violated something and I've done something wrong, and I haven't, due to the fact of I've never been charged and had a summons to show up in court or declared in or on TV news that I violated human rights and laws and I'm a terrorist to my country, Ross Jason Boehm-Lai, who's a Canadian citizen from birth and his family members have been here for over 100 years. Well, I ain't a terrorist, I ain't a criminal. Yeah, I might have done a few things, but didn't get caught at that time or charged for them. As is my brother, my father, my mother, for family violence as well. And my uncle, my cousin, Ryan is off. He's never done any psychological harm out of all the family members. Nor has Tara tried to play psychological games either. Financial difficulties, psychological abuse, physical abuse, and causing harm, human control and trafficking of a human being. Torture, psychological games, trying to duel, assault with a weapon being a chemical weapon in foods, or using something like a doctor to inflict pain by ethically harming somebody in a biased opinion because you don't want to use a court system in a fair trial where somebody has a say in life, their say, so people are listening. Not the ignorance of an RCMP officer dragging you off in a Holocaust act with his hand on his sidearm or rifle, threatening you because he's 300 pounds and he's going to fucking drop you down to the ground. Because you don't have the physical strength to do so either, or threaten somebody bigger than you because you were taught never to threaten anybody because your dad used to pin you down on the ground and go, "Aha, I'm bigger than you, I got you." Just because you wanted to play fight with your dad tried to play fight with you in your head by a gesture, so you'd play fight with them. To prove a point that he was stronger, like going to self-defense class and your son say, disciplining you and showing you you don't know anything yet and you have to take this long, tedious road like education or an apprenticeship program to become a black belt or a champion in a boxing ring or whatnot. That's right, family violence. Gone too far. Second time in 3 weeks, Facebook has kicked me off because of security breaches. I'm the only one with the code. I don't have a cell phone to verify, so that to verify through my email account would take 3 or 4 days after setting up another account. This is quite pathetic that Facebook has done this as well. Now they're in this family violence and violence against me from the RCMP and our government who's assaulting me without using fair equal justice by human rights and laws by handing someone a summons and telling them to show up in court. This internet shit is out of hand that they think they can take the laws out of their own hand, and a downloading site that's a bait and trap, a trap-like device that sends a virus out to your computer and says it's going to do something to the information in your email accounts to harm you in any way. Now they're the criminals. It's like having AIDS and going out and killing somebody, or that last killing spree where a bunch of guys got shot by a Muslim with an AK-47 or a AR-15, whatever it was. And why in the hell didn't the guy have a 100-round clip and only a 25-round clip? It doesn't make sense in any of these assault things that a man doesn't have a 100-round clip on it. Because that's a lot of shots per magazine or drum, just like in the ancient days of Al Capone having a Tommy gun. Or using a Mini 14 or a SOCOM, in other words they're called, or a small version of an assault rifle, a Crisp 45, or any type of other assault weapon out there, or an Israel gun with a clip on the back. Civil Advantage, you can check out their site on YouTube as well. Like I said, family violence, human rights violations, and there's never been criminal harassment or internet bullying or bullying on my behalf because I don't do that. I don't go around pushing human beings. I might gesture a friend of mine by tapping him in the belly or goofing around with him, but I don't go around trying to bully and harm my friends or my buddies. All I do is a little gesture. Yeah, I'm alive too. Have a great day. I'm glad I have a buddy that doesn't threaten me. And if a friend of mine wants to give me a tap in the arm, just say, "Hey, how's it going?" Just like shaking a hand sometimes. Nothing wrong with a hug too. And go to fucking hell. This internet criminal harassment of psychological torturing and turning off Facebook on me for the second time in less than a month or 2 weeks in a verification of identification. You got to come up with something better than that. It's about time Microsoft came up with one with the combination of MSN, which is the chat on Facebook, and because your internet email is on Facebook, that means it's part of Microsoft as well, or Outlook, or Hotmail as well, and MySpace as well, or whatever it is, because you sure don't go through with Outlook and Hotmail on getting thrown off of a server called Facebook. A communication device. Like I said, infrastructure of society, the government puts in all telephones and phone lines, meaning it's part of the system, and it's like a library. It should be free. We're already paying for it. Double tax on a $200 or $100 a month charge to use a phone line or a internet landline that is a communication device of talking and chatting to people nowadays, just like the Morse code machine of going with your keyboard, like I've explained it in many videos before, of this violence and human right violations and laws and ethics violating human beings psychologically and physically, baiting and trapping them of financial burdens and sending viruses out that harm them even more because they can't afford stuff in life. This over Article 5 can't afford proper communications, clothes, food, and housing. A jailhouse, anything less than a house, basically, hey? You don't have room to move around when a cow gets many acres to graze just because it's for food. We don't have any huge wildlife reserves, do we? Where the wildlife run around free? Underground tunnels for aqueducts or water tanks or water reserves as well. And bullet trains that go from coast to coast and shit like that, infrastructure that could cause jobs in our lifestyles. The Chinese are doing it all over there. Mega structures of canals and waterways and dams. Every Asian group seems to be doing it, and the Russians, but Canada goes through environmental bullshit that they can't do fuck all because the rest of the world says they can't have it. Human control.